Well, before you grab peppers to make fresh salsa this summer, we're verifying the cooking claim that jalapenos that look distressed are actually spicier than the ones that look perfect on the outside.
I thought I was gonna die.
2 children are among the victims of a shooting at a California food festival. Police say they were able to stop the gunman within 1 minute.
We can't drink the water, can't use it to cook, and we're not even giving it to our pets.
It is day 4 without drinking water for hundreds of people in northeast Spokane. Now the state health department is trying to figure out the health effects from that contaminated water. Good evening, I'm Whitney Ward in for Jane tonight.
And I'm Mark Hanrahan. People living in the Hilliard neighborhood are still dealing with contaminated water. So here is the area that's impacted right now. The city of Spokane says a hydro seed truck used a city hydrant and contaminated the water for about a 15-block area. Now the city is providing free bottled water to hundreds of people now.
KREM 2's Shayna Waltower has more now on the dangers of drinking that contaminated water.
Yeah, this large puddle here is one of several areas in this neighborhood that the city has already started to flush out to cleanse through the water. But for people who are living here, they're saying it's been a bit of a hard habit to break for them not to go in their kitchen, fill up their cup with tap water and drink it. But the Department of Health says that this could bring along some health concerns by drinking this water.
Just second nature of just filling up the coffee pot.
It's something many of us take for granted, having easy access to drinkable water. But for many living in Hilliard right now, that seems like a luxury.
We even have a filtered system in the refrigerator, and to not even be using that because it's still part of the tap water.
The Washington Department of Health issued a health notice to people in the area last week telling them not to ingest this water. But just how serious would it be if someone were to drink it? To answer this, I spoke with Dorothy Tibbetts, Regional Manager of Drinking Water at the Department of Health.
Generally, we're looking at contaminants that are chronic in nature. It would take a long time of exposure.
So she says taking one sip probably won't kill you, but thinking about what you could be drinking should make you not want to. Hydro seed is typically made of fertilizer, seed, and wood fibers, all things found in gardening mixtures. But Tibbetts says determining any short-term effects from this mixture has been a challenge for the department. But she does say certain groups could be more prone to any illnesses from drinking this water than others.
If somebody already has health condition, or the very old or the very young could be more sensitive to exposures.
She says so far the department hasn't received any reports of people getting sick from this water. Still, she says it's not safe to drink and that you should contact your health care provider if you've ingested it and aren't feeling well. In Hilliard, Shayna Waltower, KREM 2 News.
So we know the health effects are just one of the many questions that people have about this contamination. We've answered as many as we could for you on KREM.com. You'll find that story on our homepage and our KREM 2 mobile app.
To some national news now. A 6-year-old boy, a 13-year-old girl, and a man in his 20s are among the victims in a shooting at a California festival yesterday. 12 others were shot and dozens more hurt as they ran away. The shooting was at the Gilroy Garlic Festival about 80 miles southwest of San Francisco. The event is a family-friendly event and up to 100,000 people attend it each year. Police say the youngest victim, 6-year-old Stephen Romero, was playing in a bounce house when he was killed.
I thought I was gonna die.
Why did you think that?
Since they were like 40 feet away from us.
What did you do?
I went under a table.
And you stayed there?
Yeah, until the police got them.
Well, police shot and killed the 19-year-old gunman. Police say he avoided security by cutting through a fence to get into the event.
When this call came in, the shots being fired, the closest team of officers responded immediately. They were there and engaging the suspect in less than a minute. And despite the fact that they were outgunned with their handguns against a rifle, those 3 officers were able to fatally wound that suspect, and the event ended very quickly.
Some witnesses told police there was a second person involved in the shooting, but at this point, police say there is no confirmation that there is a potential second suspect. The FBI is now helping the Gilroy Police Department investigate those claims.
You searched for survivors. You went back day after day and night after night to save lives and return the fallen to their families, to rebuild and recover, and to show the entire world that nothing will ever break America's spirit.
President Donald Trump signed a bill this morning reauthorizing the 9/11 Victim Compensation Fund through 2092. The New York Fire Department lost 343 members during the terror attacks, and an additional 200 died from 9/11 related illnesses. That number is expected only to climb. The money benefits those first responders as well as their families.
All right, to weather now. We are seeing more warm and dry conditions outside tonight, but get this, looking at the last 5 years, this summer has had the fewest 90-degree days.
Kind of interesting. Tom Sherry's in the Weather Center for us right now. So do we have any 90s in the future?
We do, but again, we don't have long periods of oppressive heat like we've seen in the past, but we may hit 90 this coming Sunday, and we're going to kiss 90 a couple of days this week. We'll get close to it anyway. We're at 86 degrees, right where we are supposed to be for this time of year. The winds are calm, so obviously it is tinder dry out there. Please be careful. You can see we've got high pressure building in across the Pacific Northwest. We do have some weather. It is all to the south of us, pretty much moving out of eastern Oregon through central and southern Idaho into extreme southwestern Montana. But again, there's a close-up view, but nothing happening across most of the inland Northwest. We'll look for an overnight low of 58 degrees, 85 the expected high tomorrow, maybe a little bit on the breezy side, but still a very comfortable day. For the weekend, there's that 90 I talked about on Sunday, and we'll see 88 on Saturday. I'll check the rest of your 7-day forecast, all coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Tom, thank you. Well, diners in Coeur d'Alene are remembering the late owner of one of the city's most popular food trucks. Keenan Schlinker, who owned the Best Sandwich Shack, died over the weekend.
Schlinker's son says the amount of support has been astonishing. As he tells our Taylor Vito tonight, the food truck will live on.
I work with my dad every day for the last 10 years. I don't regret a second of it. So that's huge.
For a man who's just lost his father, Kip Schlinker is keeping his chin up. It's memories of Dad, Keenan Schlinker, and the legacy they created together that have him still going.
While we cooked, he would go outside and talk to people.
Keenan Schlinker passed away on Saturday at 81. The family founded the Best Sandwich Shack close to 10 years ago. Keenan, a former car salesman, pitched it as a passion project. He saw an opportunity to serve up something Coeur d'Alene needed: Philly cheesesteaks. At the time, the family says it was one of Coeur d'Alene's first food trucks.
I appeased him and said, all right, we're going to fail in 6 months, and 10 years later, this is this.
And this has become an institution for local foodies. While the best part of their name comes from the street they sit off of, the accolades match up. Recognition in online posts by Zagat and USA Today.
It's to the point now when people ask us what we're doing, and if we need advertising, we say no because we can't take the business. It's just too much.
All thanks to Keenan's idea. A battle with dementia in recent months forced the Sandwich Shack to cut its hours from 7 days a week to just 5. Kip says they'll soon be open 6 days a week, that lone day off being for family. He says it's what Keenan would have wanted, his love of the shack to go on. And since his death, the outpouring of support has been tremendous.
Massive. I mean, I get text messages every 10 minutes.
The shop has been closed, but will reopen on Thursday. They hope to be open 6 days a week within a month. In Coeur d'Alene, Taylor Vito, KREM 2 News.